It's 2024. We're back at it again with another brand new episode from your Trios squad here. Of course, we got the White Rhino. We got B-Rat here up in the studio in La Casa. And we just want to say, hopefully everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. You know,
Thanksgiving.
Hopefully, or no, New Year's, dude. My brain is so fried right now. You know, just because, I mean, I just got off being sick too, so you know, I'm still trying to get my stuff back in from scramble mode. So here we are, though. Did everybody have fantastic New Year's?
I started my fast early, so
that's right.
I just kept a low profile. I was dealing with migraines, you know, from all the withdrawals.
Just sweating and shaking and all that. Like you're going through cold turkey and all
pretty
that.
miserable. Yeah,
all in a ball, like.
but hey,
off fentanyl.
Fentanyl is really hard to get off of, guys.
It's just the FYI for you people, you know what I'm saying? That Fenty code word, man.
If you need to know, though, hit up Brett.
Exactly.
So what about you, Brad? What did you do for New Year's?
Nothing too exciting, actually. I actually just hung out with my parents, and
nice.
I actually was home before 12 Eastern time. So.
Oh, we were playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were playing.
Yeah, we played during New Year's.
Yeah, we were playing. We were trying to get a dub. Our New Year's
12
dub.
Eastern time.
Well, 9 Eastern time. So. No, 12 Eastern time. Yeah, because it was 9 here.
Oh,
yeah.
So you were watching the ball drop.
Basically.
Okay.
Well, I didn't even stay for that. I was down there for 6-7 hours. You know, I was already there for a really long time. We had dinner and all that stuff, and then finally we're just like, all right.
Yeah, well, your mom makes some good cupcakes. Thanks. Oh, that's not your. Oh, that was somebody else's mom. No.
I was like, wait, what?
Wait.
It is a way small.
I just love complimenting people's moms because my mom's shitty.
But definitely, yeah. So hopefully everybody had a fantastic New Year's, and hopefully everybody that made New Year's resolutions, you achieve them, accomplish them. We're off to a brand new start, but here we are, man. Did you guys set any New Year's resolutions for yourselves?
Nope,
Nothing?
I don't believe in them.
No, okay, fair enough. You no. Same.
I know,
here.
really boring.
I hate that shit. New year, new me, though. That's the same BS every year. It's like, just do better.
Yeah.
You know, simple. Just do better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, same here.
It's a tough time to be in the gym right now. I remember that back in the day when I was a more regular gym goer. Now is the time when all the resolution people come in.
Yes.
So the
it's always a
machines
full
are
house.
just packed, and
The new year, new you crew.
Yeah, exactly. And then usually about 2-3 weeks in, you start seeing them disappear.
Yeah, you know that's funny that you mentioned that because I was looking at at some weight sets, you know, and I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, which I'll share. So I have, you know, my girls are just completely innocent, right?
Yeah.
And so I noticed, I think my daughter was 14 at the time, and I go, hey, we got to go over to Dick's to get some. She would never say the name of the store.
Oh, really?
And I told her, I said, I know why you don't want to say that name. Because I said, you're losing your innocence.
That's funny.
She wouldn't even say.
Yeah. I said, hey, we got to go to Dick's. And she's like, we'll just go to that store.
That one store.
That one store.
Are we
But
going to?
Yeah. She ended up just, you know, meeting me in the middle and just saying penis, but honey, no, that's the guy's name. They used to call their kids Dick.
There is a name for that, not just that thing.
But anyway, I was at Dick's and looking, you know, like little weights, you know, something I can leave on the back patio and all that. And I'm like, you know what? This is when everybody's, you know, buying all the stuff at full price.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to come back to like offer up in March.
Everybody gives up.
I might snag some stuff on sale, you know, some people that gave up.
So you want to have that full blown like Compton, LA style setup where it's in the back in your backyard, huh?
You know, like that DMX video, his first video that he put out, stop.
Yeah.
And they're all like doing pull-ups on the street
avenue,
side.
like on the corner. Yeah. That's what you wanted.
on the walk. That's what I want to do. You know,
I can see
pop wheelies and four wheelers. No shirt.
Only yours when you try to go up and won't want to go up. Though.
But it'd be more like the videos that Eddie sends me on Instagram where the people are doing wheelies but just falling off. I mean, doing wheelies at like 50 miles per hour and falling off.
Like when he was riding, and there's one where I say to you, he swerved and he hit a fucking car straight up.
Oh my god. It's over, too. Dude, that's why you will never catch me on the motorcycle. It is over. If you crash,
Facts.
over.
Facts.
Yeah,
Dude.
you don't hear too many people that survived a motorcycle crash, and if they did, they're usually missing a leg or an arm.
That's what I
That's
saw.
serious.
I saw a dude. He was 27, and I was driving down the road. I was working and back in Montana, and what he had tried to do is pass on a corner, and he went head on into a semi truck. He lived, but when I saw him on the side of the road, the paramedics had a tourniquet on his leg, and there was no leg under the knee. Like it sliced off. It was done. And I thought I was gonna pass out driving, dude. I had to like breathe. Like, oh my god, what did I just see? I just saw a dude with a missing leg.
Dude, it's actually pretty interesting. There's a guy I worked with recently, and that happened to him.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I heard when that happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
Both legs, huh?
One.
All
the way up to the knee, above the kneecap.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Do I know him?
Yeah.
You probably seen him. You probably seen him. Yeah.
Off air, you'll have to tell me.
Yeah,
the name.
definitely.
So
Damn, dude.
I remember back when we first got on, I used to hang out with him, and he used to have this doom buggy like off-road thing, and I remember we were normal kids, right? And then like I just heard about it and saw him, and yeah, dude,
A man named Peg.
straight
Damn,
up,
dude.
straight up metal. It's like a stick, like metal.
Yeah.
He's got one. It's kind of a nicer one, honestly. You could see, like at first he had like a less nicer one that didn't fit him as well.
Yeah.
And now he has like a super nice one where you can
Yeah.
actually like walk normal.
Oh,
Dude. If he has pants on, you can't even tell.
Can't even tell.
Yeah.
They're coming out with new prosthetics. I think we've talked about it too, where I think they're trying to do this thing where they're actually trying to regrow limbs. You heard about that? They're trying to use the DNA from salamanders because they can somehow they can grow, right? It's like they're trying to combine the genome from that to a human
No
so to see if they
way.
can grow back. Yeah, that's a thing, dude. So they're actually literally working on that. But aside from that, they're also have nice prosthetics out there where it legit looks like an actual working like hand and leg and everything, dude. So it's crazy, man.
You know what I would do if I had a situation like that? I would see if it was available.
Yeah.
Get a prosthetic that I could wear for like Halloween.
Yeah.
And be a real pirate, dude.
Peg like
You know how many kids you would scare?
Peg leg, bro.
Oh man.
I got
by
the big
having
old
the
bushy
leg.
beard and everything. All I need is my eye patch.
Dude. Oh, speaking of eye patch, bro.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I want to talk about this. So you had a little incident that happened to you, and I feel like this is like the second time it's happened to you, right? Because it's happened to you once. When I've known you, it's happened already once before. But walk us through this. How did this incident happen? I want to know this.
So apparently the layer above my cornea,
Okay.
or I guess it is my cornea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the cornea. So the cornea has degraded to the point where it's like super thin. And so what happens if I don't put my eye drops in daily, and then at night I have to put a gel in there to keep everything lubricated. If I don't keep it lubricated enough, what'll happen is I'll wake up in the morning and that thin layer will stick to my eyelid. So when I open my eyelid, it'll just tear that cornea right off. And it's
painful?
like, it's painful. Yeah, it happened on Christmas. On Christmas, it happened.
Man,
So you
Merry
look
Christmas
at me,
to you, huh?
I'm just like muscling through it. We're doing family pictures, and but I mean, I'm just like in pain, and I'm just like not bleeding, crying. Because you can't stop the tears from going, and your eyes all red, and so I have some antibiotics that I have to put in there to keep the infection out. And
Oh man, dude, what a way to
dealt
start
with that
Christmas,
twice
bro.
in like just in a matter of months, dude.
Dang. So it happens just like that, like out of nowhere, just kind of.
Just out of nowhere. Yeah,
Man, that's
there's
crazy, dude.
no
Makes
warning,
Yeah.
as Biggie would say.
So if you're like taking a nap or something on the couch, does your wife have to wake you up really quick and remind you to put stuff in your eyes, or does she just say, fuck it?
They don't know what I'm dealing with. they just know that when it happens,
They might not find you breathing one day, and it is what it is.
But I do one thing. The rule now in the house is, hey, and I have to do special eye drops. It has to be what's that called? Preservative free eye drops that I use throughout the day, and then at night I have to put a gel in there that's like a thick coating. So then at night, if I'm trying to like Netflix myself to sleep,
Yeah.
it's blurry. so I have blurry vision at night, you know.
Oh wow.
And so just in the one eye.
Well, that's good that you're good now. I mean, it looks like nothing's ever happened, but I remember you telling me, and I thought like, damn, that sounds pretty brutal. But
And then,
you know,
I mean, it was just a number of things all at once. My sleep apnea thing. I'm finally coming up in February. I'm finally getting my machine. It's a BiPAP.
nice.
You know. So
Hey man, you're gonna get some A1 sleep. Though. I heard it works
getting hit
wonders.
left and right.
Hey, you're still surviving though. That's what I'm gonna call you.
Still surviving the white rhino.
Definitely. So before we start on this wonderful journey here on the podcast, like we always do, we did have a special request for a shout out, Brett. I think I forwarded it to you. It was a fellow fan of ours, or a listener. I mean, a listener, a fan, whatever you want to call it. She wanted us to give her a shout out, and I think I brought it up to you before. I think I brought it to you, didn't I? Shout out, didn't I? Her name, what is it? I don't know. So on YouTube,
on
KJ Devs wishes us a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So it's likewise to you as well. But of course, she wanted us to give her friend's business a shout out. The Hills Massage in Carmen Bohol, which is in
The Philippines.
definitely. So shout out to all of you down there. Yeah, I mean,
And
go check them
Bohol,
out if you're in
I've
the
been in
Philippines.
Bohol. Bohol
really?
is when we went when our family was there right before the pandemic.
Okay.
Plandemic. Bohol, that area, I think in there. It's what they call the Chocolate Hills. If you look up the Chocolate Hills, it looks like the Earth has a bunch of pimples.
What the hell?
But it's like lava activity. It was a bunch of lava activity that created that, and then over the millions of years, a bunch of trees. But it looks like when you're looking at it, just you get to the top of this lookout, and you look all around. You get this panoramic view, and it's a bunch of just little humps, just little humps.
Oh, wow.
all
Nice
over
area.
the
Nice
landscape.
area then.
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful.
So shout out to you guys out there.
Yeah.
though.
So what was the business called?
Let's see, the business is called The Hills Massage in Carmen Bohol.
The Hills Massage. Shout out to the Hills Massage in Carmen Bohol, Philippines. My favorite country in the entire world.
You're probably gonna have to go there, and maybe like next time you go visit there, and just
I'm sure because Bohol is small enough that you could totally make it happen. So if we did another trip down there, I think our next trip we want to do is Boracay.
Okay.
We want to hit that. We like to hit different areas when we go there, but Boracay is like just white sandy beaches.
Ooh.
We want to hit that. I want to hit Honda Bay. That's where you're doing some island hopping in Palawan, where Palawan is like basically the Philippines version of our Hawaii.
Nice. Okay.
Beautiful, and I mean, the whole country is beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. All Carmen is Bohol is beautiful over there
Nice.
too. It's all beautiful.
All first class, not economy for you though, right?
First class, yeah, first class. Economy is like where the peons sit.
Yeah, that's where they put the eject seat in airplanes now.
Exactly.
They put them in coach.
Yeah, where do most
Window.
people die in plane crashes?
Yeah,
Economy.
yeah, economy. Yeah, it's like 12th row and back. Don't sit at the windows.
I'm kidding.
So the Hills Massage, love
yes.
to you from the boys,
Yeah.
and go check them out if you're in Bohol. So
That's awesome.
I'm
That's
definitely gonna
awesome.
check it out.
Thank
Thank you guys for the comment too.
Definitely,
That's
thank
awesome.
you. Appreciate
That's
it very
what we
much.
love.
Much love, much love. So, boys, there's a lot going on in the world today. We can go in multiple directions as we speak. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little sports or if you want to jump right into your topic. But if you want to jump into the right topic,
We'll hop right into Mark Zuckerberg's little world.
All right. So, of course, we're going to talk about Mark Zuckerberg here. He is the founder of Facebook, right? Notably the founder of Facebook, creator,
Meta.
whatever you want it, Meta, all that stuff. So, Brett, what do we have on the agenda today? What is going on with homeboy Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, he is one of a growing list of billionaires that is caught up in this trend of building bunkers, like survival bunkers. And so he himself is spending $100 million on this compound in Hawaii. So he's buying up all this ranch property. He's expanding his property. And so right now he's just building this survival bunker where he and multiple families, probably his workers and everything. I guess he gets to choose who gets to live.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's what he's doing on his property. And it's got the internet going nuts, as Paul Wall would say. I got the internet going nuts.
Yeah. Definitely.
And,
People's champ.
So Paul Wall, I'm the people champ.
Is
I
he
love
like
Paul
51
Wall.
now or something now?
He's still right. He can still drop bars. I heard it.
He's
Drop bars.
legit, dude.
He's a
Him and
legend.
Chameleonaire when they were together, that was amazing. But yeah, so it's basically just, so the main thing is that he's these workers, they're coming in, they're trucking them in, and they are all being told to sign NDAs, so they can't say what they're building and what they're doing, what they're seeing. They can't talk about any of this, and so it's just very secretive. But the point, though, is this is just one of many. But what is going on and what the internet is asking is, what do these billionaires know that we don't?
Yeah.
And right, I mean, this news is coming right off the heels of this show that we had covered on the podcast previously.
Yep.
Leave the World Behind.
Yep.
Talking about this type of thing, and so it's leaving a lot of people, and beyond. Goes beyond your tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. This is like mainstream stuff now.
Yeah.
Where people are starting to pick up on it, and so you're looking at what's going on around the world. We've got supply chains left and right busting. We've got wars going on, conflicts going on in the world to where shipping containers can't even go through seas to deliver products. And so that's crippling things. There are companies laying off like 10,000 people, layoffs all over the world right now. And so what the conspiracy, what some of the thoughts are on this is just, okay, is there going to be so much civil unrest because of all this? And so are they having backdoor meetings and talking about the real possibility of there being a fallout in society? And so another one I want to talk about, another one that was notable, was Peter Thiel, billionaire PayPal. This is, I think, so that's out of Wired. I forget what magazine this is from, but Peter Thiel is talking about, he's in New Zealand, and he is also building, he has a doomsday prepper mansion in a remote area of New Zealand, and this guy, he's worth $7.7 billion. And so he went to New Zealand, has this, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, these mansions are beautiful, but he actually got shot down on a $10 million doomsday prepper thing. So he wanted to go underground with it, and it was going to affect like 3 different areas in the environment. So the environmentalists in New Zealand said, no, you cannot do that. And they took it to court, and they won. So he's getting shot down on that. But I will say, from listening to people who have talked about conflicts, world conflicts, nuclear holocaust happening, something like that, they said that New Zealand statistically is the best place to be on Earth because it's in the southern hemisphere. And when nukes are flying between Russia and China, US or whatever, that's all in the northern. So if you're in Europe, you're in any of these areas, northern hemisphere, you're pretty much screwed. But if you go southern hemisphere, you go to New Zealand, you're pretty much protected. That's the safest place you want to be. So
interesting.
Peter Thiel is he's that's where he's set to be protected. But I mean, these things are nothing to sneeze at when you're looking at the money they're putting in.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
man. I mean,
73,700 square meters.
fucking insane. 18
18
acres.
acres.
It
Yeah.
was
Moly.
designed by the Japanese architects Kengo Kuma and Associates, who created the Tokyo Olympic Stadium.
No big. My house is gonna
and
be
so
made
this-
by some dude that made created the Tokyo
Like an
Olympic
artist.
Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
An artist is making my house.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing. They have so much FU money that they're just like, we
Right.
don't even need a real architect. Just
I mean, I
give me
think
an
at this
artist.
point, man, it's only so obvious. Like, I mean, what are they building it for? Like, come on, man. I mean, this should really kind of mean, in a sense, like kind of raise your eyebrow a bit. Like, what's going to go on?
Well,
Something's
and
gonna
this
go
is
down,
where
you know?
I think we, the people,
Yeah.
have to talk about this and strategize a little bit amongst ourselves because, we have another, isn't Civil War, that movie that's about to come out, isn't that a Barack Obama produced?
I don't know, but that's the one movie I was talking about too, about how the U.S. is literally split.
Right.
Like every state, there's certain states where they're just not even want to be part of the United States of America.
Right.
And it's like Americans versus Americans. Like the government is against the people and the people are against each other.
Yeah.
So it's just chaos everywhere. So it's like a Civil War times 10, dude.
Yep.
So yeah, another movie to look forward to.
Well,
definitely.
and I've talked about it a million times before, and maybe not on the podcast, but I've, in conversation I've had, is talking about, like the best way, like being that we live in this country and we just cannot seem to get along and agree on anything. We really need to split this country up into four to five sections anyway, so that everybody can kind of just have their peace and just be happy for a while.
Yeah.
And I part of that region is giving the First Nations their own land, like their own not reservations. Like this is your own. You get the whole whatever they want, the Pacific Northwest, whatever. Right. That's that they get it back. They get it back. Whatever, but separate it based on ideologies.
Yeah.
So if we're all split up. So figure out, okay, you know what? This is where I believe. This is what I believe. This is what I want. This is what I believe I want. And then you get a big enough of a group that you all can agree with. But it's not going to happen without bloodshed.
Oh,
so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing, right? But like right now, speaking of that, people moving from different areas. Like, I mean, you already have a bunch of people that migrated from California to like Texas, Arizona, and all that. A lot of people moving to Florida now. I mean, dude, it's already kind of like if you were to ask me if there's already a sign of just difference in just people moving or migrating to different areas, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Right. So, and even from here in our state, we just keep hearing a bunch of people saying, Washington's just not what it used to be, especially in the area where we live in. We got Seattle. It's just not what it was before.
Yeah.
It's just changing a lot. So, I agree.
The beauty with this, like we are in an area that is pretty hostile to like a lot of what I think I'm saying that like they lean very socialist over here and very like almost like totalitarian socialism, to where it's like you will do this, you will abide by this, and da 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 da. And it's just very hostile to where we stand, where we're more of like freedom seekers, more libertarian minded, where we just believe that people should have their own rights to have their own types of freedoms and whatnot. Come on in. And so so the beauty though about Washington is all of that totalitarian socialism that I'm talking about, it's really only in this area. All we got to do is just go a little bit east.
Yeah, true.
Once you start hitting like Ellensburg, you're now in the safe zone.
Yeah.
Just get over the pass.
Down yonder over the mountains over
there.
Right.
Right. So we got two routes over. We got US 2 to get over Stevens Pass, and then we've got Snoqualmie Pass over I-90.
What about Chehalis?
Chehalis? Could you go that way? No. What did you say? Chehalis?
Chehalis?
Chehalis.
Chehalis.
It was a throwback to when we were talking about. I'm like Chehalis. You're like Chehalis.
I love it. Yeah, it's all those.
We have a lot of gold ones like that. But anyways, yeah, so like that area, it's out over there, right? It's like further away from this area. I'm sure.
What is
Chehalis?
That's over. So they're in a pretty good area, but they're pretty much like they're closer to Olympia.
Oh, okay.
But they're still in that zone. Like they'd all be lumped up together. So
can you imagine Highway 2? Like during a crisis,
it would suck. It
wouldn't move.
What I would worry about is like, if there were enough hostile actors, and they are arming those areas, and it's almost like a checkpoint. And you got to go through a checkpoint. And you got to figure out how you're going to get through.
Yeah.
So I'd be working that network out. I don't know what I'd do, but
there would be.
But I'm getting over one way or another.
No, most definitely.
One way or a mother.
So more of the story, people. There's something that's going to happen. There's the told tale that obviously these guys are getting ready for something. What is that something? We don't know. Obviously, the attack on the power grid, like we mentioned before in the previous episode, or just an attack from a different country. I mean, it's just one, either or. I mean, wasn't there like just kind of going aside on
all
that?
be included too.
Yeah, right? Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, they could be that's war, right? I mean, these days that's war.
What is war?
I mean, if you're attacking the power grid and
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an act of
it's
war.
like
Yep.
instant. Yeah.
100%.
So
That's why, we got that Space Force and we all laughed because, well, not all of us laughed. I mean, there were a lot of people on the internet that laughed because Space Force went in when Donald Trump was in office and they were just laughing at anything he did. But they tried to make it a joke. But honestly, that Space Force, they're the ones that are gonna, when someone attacks our satellites, they're gonna be the ones on
going
point.
after it. Yeah. I mean, it is a bold move to think because they even said before that. I mean, it's almost like, didn't I hear about something about like China wanting to like make sure that they were gonna like own the moon or like fight for or something like that? I don't know.
They want that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's gonna be conflict up there. I mean, we could think about it as like, why? But no, it's a realistic thing. Like I can see that happening with satellites and all that.
Yep.
So most definitely, man. So that's crazy, man. I mean, it's very suspicious to me why Mark is really kind of trying to like keep everything under wraps and just like, hey guys, nothing to see here, just building my own little fortress.
And, we single him out because he's an easy boogeyman to attack, but it's a growing number of billionaires that are doing this. And, some of the names that we wouldn't recognize because they're not, main actors or into what we're interested, but a lot of people in the financial sector, a lot of people in the tech sector, they're doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But I will say, I was looking at Doomsday Prepper, there in Indiana, there's a place you can buy for $35,000. That's an underground bunker, and it's a gated community. So you live with other people who are also have their $35,000 bunker.
No way. Are they connected?
It's all like one little compound.
Oh, dude.
And I think it was like an old military site or something. And then like an old, maybe it was a missile silo or something.
We need to all go in on one and then make sure we have a potting station down there so we can
Dude.
through the travesty. The pod continues.
The revolution will be podcasted.
Out here, the revolution.
We'll be something Morse
Running
code
around.
too, saying.
Running around with selfie sticks.
But the other thing I was thinking was, all these, rich billionaires, they're building all these properties as if that's going to protect them.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's only a few of you and there's the billions of us.
Yeah.
And Americans, we've got plenty of freedoms, let's just call them.
Plenty.
We've got plenty of freedoms to seize whatever we got to do to survive. So if you got something, but the Mark Zuckerberg one, his in the plans, they are speculating that it's a blast-proof door that he's putting on his little bunker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, moral of the story, people. Yeah. Also, just get ready, be prepared, have a backup plan just in case. Just in case, we don't want to spread fear. But
Stock up in toilet paper.
Definitely. Yeah, let that be the first thing you go for. Toilet paper.
Hey
That's
guys,
crazy.
before we move, as we move on to something else, I kind of wanted to bring something up. So,
all right,
I don't know if you guys saw, but just yesterday, the Stephen Hawking thing obviously happening, right? So there's memes flying all over. He was mentioned in the Epstein thing, right?
The list of clients,
right?
people.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is you go back in time and it's almost like the Simpsons have gone ahead in time and like gone back and made these episodes. It's like these things are repeatedly coming true.
Yeah.
All the way recently up to Ocean Gate, they had one of their little submersibles go down. It blew up.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
There is a scene in The Simpsons where a guy in a wheelchair goes to a family picnic and he drives up and he flies away, right? And he's like a futuristic like type guy. He picks up what's the girl's name?
Lisa
with a claw and flies away.
Yeah, so his wheelchair
on an island
has like a helicopter,
like a helicopter
on it.
thing. Yeah, I've seen a still image of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, The Simpsons overall, though, with the theory on them like predicting stuff that has happened, it's not coincidental. They've all been dead on with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's predictive programming.
Right, predictive programming. Exactly. So on that note, right? Before we move on, so there was a part of the what would we want to call them? Like official court documents, correct?
The Epstein documents.
Epstein documents, right?
Flight logs, right?
The flight logs, all that got released. We'll definitely talk about a little bit about that as well on the here, since we're going on the topics. So there's a piece of the document here where they're actually asking a person. I don't know who they are, but I sent you a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So this goes. Hold on one sec. Wait, are you telling me that Stephen Hawking frequented the island for pleasure? Question. This person said, yes. Jeffrey loved to have intellectuals visit the island so he could reward them for their hard work for humanity and for other darker reasons. Did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Stephen Hawking's proclivities? Yes, he liked watching undressed midgets solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard.
Wow.
And that's an actual document. Like that was legitimately part of the documents that got released along with the list of flight logs and all that stuff.
That would be a sick bastard.
It's beyond sick.
Oh my
right?
God, that is.
Oh, man, dude.
Were they naked?
I don't know what to say.
I don't know. That's all. That's all it said on that part. I mean, I would assume, but maybe if it was just like for a gag for him to just kind of laugh, like them attempting to try to do that, right?
If they don't have to be naked, hot take, that would be the good job to be assigned to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just got to go write some shit on a chalkboard, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm working with Steven today.
It seems pretty tame. I mean, it's pretty funny. I know the internet went wild with that, but that seems pretty tame compared to the other monstrosities that happen on that island.
Definitely, man. I mean, so do you guys think, okay, so this is my question with all of it coming out, right? They released a bunch of names. Bill Clinton was on there. Prince Andrew was on there. I mean, dude, there was a bunch of...
David Copperfield was on there a
dude,
lot.
there was a bunch of people.
David Copperfield too?
Really?
Like all over it. They said he was listed like 20 times.
Gross.
Damn.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
like one of the ones that they're like almost certain now, like just based
He
off
was
of
doing something. Right?
Yeah, because he was named so many different times. They said that he frequented the island all the time. He would do magic tricks for all the he was there.
Dude, could you imagine his magic tricks on the island? That's
Dude,
so gross.
So, okay, we had a little discussion off the pod in regards to this, right? So, are they going to go down the line to saying if you're associated to Epstein or were associated to him at the time when he was alive, aside from the people that were doing shady shit on the side or whatever, like, do you think going forward, do you think those people's names are going to be tainted for the rest of their lives, even knowing that they were associated with him at the time when he was alive? Like maybe they never did anything crazy, like, all the fuck shit, right? But even having association and them being like, well, I didn't know. But they were even saying, even back then, like they always had like, the word was that he was involved with that type of stuff. So it's like, how do you maneuver away from that? See what I'm saying?
I don't think there is a way.
Okay.
I mean, I think, I mean, we know, right? Like when anybody we hang out with, right? We know what the backstory is with everybody we hang out with.
Yeah.
Right. So, if we're going to go out with somebody else, as soon as I hear something crazy about something, first thing I'm doing is pulling you two aside and saying, hey,
FYI,
yeah, this is kind of what I saw, this is, I went ahead and hung out, but this is what I saw. So just to give a heads up, just so you know.
Yeah, especially in that industry too, because it's the entertainment business. A lot of stuff, I'm sure, funnels through there, and everybody that knows everybody would at least have a sense of like, heads up, yo, something's going on. Something doesn't seem right. And people have come out and said, yo, this dude is like, something shady about this dude. You know what I'm saying?
And I think Brad brought up a point where he was talking about David Copperfield name popping up so many times.
Yeah.
That's another thing you got to look at is, is this somebody who went up there and maybe saw something like, whoa, I was not ready for this. I think by the time you go to the island, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
So if you're going to the island, you're done. You're done. But if you're like, you were out in New York going to dinner, Miami or wherever, right? And you're out to dinner with them and it was one time, I think, you can give people the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But if you're on this jet log multiple times going to this island that everybody now knows, it's game over.
I do think that there's a chance though, like, cause we were chatting about it earlier. Like even if someone visits, let's say once or twice, let's say even 3 times, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were involved with that, in my opinion. Just because, like you kind of mentioned, in that entertainment industry and in the money, like where the money is,
Yeah.
people just, hey, You want to go visit, like, let's say you're we're in the Virgin Islands. Is that where it was? That's
I believe so. Was it Virgin Islands?
So let's say you're in Florida, and geographically, I'm not even sure. Let's say you're somewhere nearby, and you're like a plane ride, hour and a half plane ride from this rich guy's house that has this fucking crazy place.
Yeah,
and you're just like, yo, I went over there, last weekend. Nothing crazy happened. Let's say when that person went, they invite, hey, my friend Jeffrey, he's rich as fuck. Want to come to his island? You know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, hey, we'll take the flight, and we'll land it at the dock, and we'll go check it out for a night or two. I mean,
So, I don't know if you know this though, but when the FBI raided that island, the FBI took binders. I mean, so Jeffrey Epstein had cameras on every part of that island, and he was keeping that footage for blackmail to use against anybody who turned against him who visited that island.
Yeah.
So
is that a lot of that stuff too? There was like a lot of weird paintings. Like somebody had to like leak some footage of the house there, and there was like these weird ass paintings of just like naked people, like weird, just stuff that like if I were to walk in the house. Like, yo, something's like this is very weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just give me that vibe. Like,
no,
nah,
like French
something's
art.
up. Yeah, definitely. It's not like, hey, this is art. No, this is like a straight up naked chick
Bill
right
Clinton
here. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing Monica Lewinsky's dress.
Yes.
You had
that was weird. That was a
George
weird one.
W.
On the
Bush.
wall?
Yeah, on the wall.
And you had George W. Bush sitting in the Oval Office, sitting cross-legged like he's a little kid with a paper airplane with 2 Jenga towers knocked over.
Crazy, dude. Yeah. Yep.
That's not as weird as the other one to me.
The one with Bill Clinton in the dress? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but then again, so like I said, he kept binders of all these, and the FBI took this stuff and they have hid it. They have hid this stuff. They are not releasing any of this stuff. That's so all these forms and documents that we're getting that are still redacted, that still have John Doe's on there.
Yeah.
They are the FBI is actively protecting people right now.
110%. And that's the footage that they're even that they want released.
Yeah.
Like people are calling out, no, we want the footage too that you guys found. And they even said verbatim that it's like being protected by the FBI. They're not going to release it.
Right.
Because I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitting names there that, I'm sure right now they're sweating bullets. I mean, I think didn't they interview Bill Clinton recently and he kind of just like laughed it off, like, or just gave a weird response about it. Like, you were on there, like, I wouldn't want to say more than a couple times. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's like Homeboy Prince Andrew. I told you.
Yes, thank you.
That's some clown to me. The dude said that he doesn't remember meeting that chick, the one that actually said
pictured with him
and everything. And he's like, I don't remember taking that picture. The flight log shows you were there 30 plus times, bro. Really?
Yep.
Really?
30? And not only that, but dude. Apparently the Queen, when she was alive, God bless the dead.
Yeah.
They knew so much. They were told stuff that we don't know. But she stripped him of everything, everything when she found out what was going on.
And then also you want to jump to that. Another one was when Bill Gates got that divorce, and the wife said that was one of the big things. Like I think she said verbatim that was one of the reasons too why she did it. Like because they had somehow of a close relationship. So it's like, what was that? And
that's what I think. So I think the FBI is protecting all of these people because they know we would not stand up for that at all. And there would be an overhaul of our government, I think, at that point.
Oh, do you guys think overhaul. Bill Gates is definitely included in that list?
Bill Gates is
most definitely.
His hands have got to be dirty.
Well, with the fact that his wife just divorced him out of nowhere, like you guys just said, right? I mean, it was kind of random, wasn't it? It was really weird.
It was an abrupt divorce. Yeah, it was like over. God, what was the official one?
I don't really remember, but I know that was one of the reasons why she even asked. Like she got asked, like, did that play any kind of role? And he's like, I would say yes in a way, or something in that nature. But yeah, that was like brought up about it. Like, damn, that's crazy.
It's
like why? It's like, out of everything else, that was one of the things.
That's one thing. Yeah. So just going back, I know that that you're giving some people a benefit of the doubt, but I just think that going on the island there was just a general consensus of what was going to go on. If you're going to this island, it's like if I come and tell you guys, hey, we're going to go to the strip club, but we're just not going to call it a strip club. We're just going to call it something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But you still know you're going to a strip club.
Right.
And so that's what I think is when that island, there's just so many people that knew. Everybody that went to that island knew what was going on that island.
Right. And I am kind of in a way playing devil's advocate, just trying to kind of like, just kind of grow the conversation.
Yeah.
Like in a way, I do agree with you guys. Like, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's good. We need some pushback.
Yeah,
we need some pushback.
It's also just there's still a lot of stuff. Even like Gayleen herself, like she hasn't said anything else. They haven't even what's going on with that? I would want to know at least like, has she even moved a bit to even say like, okay, I'll come out and say and admit to all these things and say like, I have evidence myself that could, at this point, it's like, you really have nothing to lose at this point. Or at least maybe take some time off your sense, but it's like, even that, do the right thing. I'm sure she has a bunch of dirt still, but nothing's heard of it. Even going through with this now, like nothing's ever been brought up about her yet at all. Like
imagine sitting in prison, right? And knowing that prison is probably a better place to be than spilling the beans and saying what really went down.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how bad
crazy.
this thing is.
Yeah.
That's how bad.
And I'm surprised she's still alive too, though.
I am too.
Straight up. I mean, I think at this point we're almost like, I wish no death upon anybody, but I think at this point it's like, I would not be surprised if somehow we just hear she just.
I wouldn't mind if she got taken out. I mean, because like I was looking at the, it just depends on if she, is suicided by getting hit in the back of the head with 2 bullets or getting drowned, because it seems like anybody who in the Obama orbit is mysteriously dying, dies by drowning. There's been a number of deaths associated in the Obama orbit, and they're all drowning.
Yeah, that's crazy. The one with his chef drowning supposedly, and that he was like a really good swimmer, but somehow he drowned in the pond or the front fountain. It's like, seriously, like, come on, man. Like, who's gonna believe that?
I know.
Somehow that day he didn't know how to swim, people.
And there was just another one too. I'm not coming. It's a slip in my memory, but someone else also in that Obama orbit went drowned as well. Like,
it's like Putin's people that are falling out of windows.
Right.
They're literally, no, seriously. Oh, you fell from a hotel window. It's like, what the hell? Like literally just, and then that one, like the guy, the
Wagner group.
Yeah, they were storming, and then all of a sudden he died in a plane crash.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Craziest thing, guys.
Yeah.
He just blew up.
It's
right?
weird.
Yeah.
Did you, by the way, watch that interview with Tucker Carlson and Jeffrey Epstein's only living brother?
No, I did not watch it.
So just to give you just a brief synopsis, if people want to watch it, go watch. It's very interesting, just to kind of really
find it?
solidify. It's on X. It's on X. It's for free. So his brother pretty much said that his brother he didn't commit suicide. That they killed him. That the autopsy at once, that the person that came to do the autopsy at that moment when it happened and everything, didn't even look at the body. It's like, that was the weirdest thing. Like, they didn't even look at the body.
Wow.
So he wanted a second opinion, and they said that, it looks like he got strangled.
Wow.
That's how they took him out.
I remember when this first happened, there was a number of people coming out saying, no, that you couldn't do this. His neck would not break in the way that it broke if he strangled him or if he hung himself. There was a fight. He was being strangled.
And just to piece everything together, that these 2 officers that were watching him somehow were asleep, the cameras weren't working, and you're telling me a dude at that high profile level to where, they're keeping him under surveillance, that one day, all those things just kind of fell in line at the perfect place, perfect time, and he checked out.
I
don't know. To me, when I heard it, like, it's BS.
When I hear stuff like that, I almost want to go back and do a follow-up on those officers. How are they living today?
Exactly. Yeah, straight up.
We should get them on the pod. Officers?
Yeah, we should get them on the pod if we can do that somehow. Connect us. We want to talk to you guys just off the record. But then again, I don't want to go missing too much.
I don't
want to take
We'd
that.
all 3 drown.
Yeah, somehow,
like in the tub, in the same tub.
Last upload a year ago for this. Hell no, I don't know anything. I don't want to know
like
anything.
23 million
Or like
Jews with our life.
the way it would go down, we'd all drown, but in separate occasions, but all within the same week.
Yeah, dude, it would be never mind. I take it back. We don't want it. We don't know anything. We don't want to know anything. There's a see no evil, hear no evil, and all that stuff.
Speak no evil.
Speak no evil. So yeah, definitely. So, but what do you think is going to come out of this, guys? Do you really think that they're going to take action and nail some people to the board and just prosecute them and all that? Like, do we think something's going to happen? That's the main question I want to ask from you guys.
It's all up in the air. It depends on the victims, how much they're willing to come out. And, you know, if you're a victim and you are seeing other victims, you know, getting torn apart by the media because the villains have way more money than you'll ever have, and they have enough to buy all these corporate stations to silence you and make you, you know, they have investigators that they'll find anything in your past to basically discredit you and anything you have to say to make it look like you've been lying this whole time. Oh, because you were caught doing this, so that must make you lying about this. And it's gotta, honestly, we've got to get those tapes. We've got to get those tapes. All that evidence
all the
on the island.
They've
They've got to release that.
Yeah. See, that's the thing too. Like I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely super protected. I think at this point, if you have these high level people, they're definitely talking amongst themselves. Like, yo, how are we gonna, prevent this from coming out? Talking to the FBI, money talks. I mean, it's just so deeply interconnected. That's just my opinion. I mean, for sure. So I don't know. Like, I would want something to come out of this, but realistically, I don't think nothing's going to happen. I mean, I think it's going to get swept under the rug. This leads me to talking about other stuff. Like, as this progressed, right? This came out. The list came out. People are talking about it. People are actually, giving their opinions on it and sharing amongst other people to kind of break down, like, okay, what do these documents contain? Like, what are they talking about here? All this stuff, and giving their brief breakdown of this stuff, which is cool. So people that are doing that, I condemn you for that. Like, that's awesome that you're taking the time of the day to really simplify all this stuff, because people have a short attention span, right? So they want to know like the juiciest stuff, get it out there, boom, we're watching it, and now we know. But amongst that, though, I think this is slowly kind of fading away with all the stuff that's happening as of current. I mean, the latest thing, I brought it up with you off the pod, but Miami, New Year's Eve. Did you guys hear what happened? I don't. Have you? You've heard a little bit of it.
I heard, but it was hard for my mind to wrap around.
Okay, so Brad, if you could do me a favor here, I'll give a little breakdown. Yeah. So just put Miami New Year's Eve conspiracy or not. I don't want to say conspiracy. That's the wrong word.
Event.
Yeah, event maybe. So on the night of New Year's Eve in Miami, MIA, Coke City, once upon a time, but something happened, and I remember when this was posted up via X, right? People that were posting up that all these cops started just coming in from multiple directions. I mean, it was a platoon of cops. I'm talking about like something catastrophic like happened for all this stuff to kind of come and, just happen, right? Like, cops being called in, whatever. So there is a huge conspiracy. Yeah, conspiracy. So I use the right word. So this all happened supposedly because some teens at the mall broke out in a huge fight, and they were shooting off fireworks. And I guess there was like a couple cars being hit from rocks from these kids throwing rocks at them. But if you were to look at videos that take place recorded this when this happened, there was cops just rolling in for this so-called street fight from these kids come in. I mean, dude, you're talking about maybe, I would say 20 to 30 plus cops. So you're telling me at this point for this, ages between 14 and 16, they arrested 4 individuals, chaos, dozens of cops cars lined up alongside Bayside Market. But there's another, I guess, take on what really happened. People said that they lost electricity for 4 hours that night. Police scanners were turned off, so nobody that wanted to pick up on the scanner to see what was going on got turned off as well. People saw mysterious things up in the sky. At some certain parts of Miami, they saw certain things flying in the sky that they just couldn't really, I guess, describe what they were. Shadowy figures walking around in like the mall area where like people were just running in different multiple directions, and they saw something that didn't look human-like or whatever. And I heard the most recent one that supposedly someone saw like a portal opening up or something like that. So nobody's getting to the bottom of this. Like nobody, like there's people coming out now saying that they were there at the moment in time when this had happened, that they said that no, that fight with those kids and all that, in their opinion, they feel like that wasn't the cause of it. Because it was like, I saw like the video of like how the kids were fighting against each other or whatever, or against some certain individual. But for this to result in all these cops coming in from multiple directions, I don't know, man. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
Scroll up a little bit on this post. So this post right here, Ashton Forbes, he's talking about some witnesses are reporting 8 to 10 foot shadow beings were being shot at by people with others fleeing.
Dude, you see
that scene.
So look at that. So you're telling me all those cops, bro.
That's more than 30.
So you're telling
like
me is
40 or
that's
50 cars.
That's a result of a couple of kids, fighting?
It's like
No,
that's
or-
100 cop cars.
Yeah, yeah, that's the entire police force of Miami.
Oh my god.
So something's going down, right? Like, I mean, again, they're saying people saw things like, these 8 to 7 feet tall creatures, whatever. That's like the main focus of this. That there's other videos that they see like this thing walking on top of this part of the mall, just like crawling up on the side.
So there's no footage of that though. So everybody's seeing it, but
footage. It's like a grainy, like it's like always, right? Like there's not really like a good piece of footage to really show like, okay, this could be something here, right? But it's crazy. It's
what
crazy.
was the operation we were talking about a few podcasts ago?
Operation?
Where we were talking about with the images that they.
Like the projectiles?
That's literally what it could have been.
So that's what people are saying too.
Blue operation
blue beam? Is it blue beam?
Blue beam.
That could have been a projection.
But we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that. He said that too. He told me one time that they're going to utilize this technology, which they can. It's already out there, and I think I've seen.
Maybe this was a test.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
They've said they've been testing it. Yeah, they've been testing it, and so this could have been like a more live, because a lot of the images people have been seeing. That they're theorizing that it's from this. They've been off in the distance, not like right in front of them. And so this could have been more of a let's see how good it's gotten now.
Wow.
Let's see, you know what I mean?
But honestly, on your honest opinion, like there has to be something of a higher magnitude for this to for all this commotion here to happen. I'm just not buying the story of it was a couple kids fighting.
No, that's way too much police presence for a. Okay, this one is Mo on Twitter saying, I was at the Miami Mall yesterday and the government is lying. There were no kids fighting. Everyone started panicking because these gray creatures were walking around. They didn't make any noises or sounds, but stared and watched you move. I tried to make a video, but... And then that's...
Can we find out more? Can we read the replies? But there you go.
Wow.
They didn't make no sound, no noise. I mean, if it was a projectile, it would make sense, right?
Right,
They're making no sounds or
exactly.
nothing. They just look at you, whatever.
So
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
That's interesting. So there's a number of people. That's crazy. So I didn't go.
That was also before the report.
There are now verified reports that there was a fight between a group of teenagers involving firecrackers, and then I saw one that there was like they were throwing stuff.
But could that have also been going on too?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe you know what I mean. That's a big city.
So
that's his second.
So go ahead, Brett.
Oh, okay.
Brett.
So that's the second one. But every time I would try to make that video, it would just bug out. They set a perimeter and wouldn't let anyone out or in unless they went through their photos. Whoa! We were visited by aliens, and the government is covering it up. So the police were setting up checkpoints and checking your photos on your phone.
I'll tell you, I think I buy more.
Wow.
Okay, so theory. All right, we're gonna bust our fucking tinfoil, imaginary tinfoil hats
real
on.
quick, just keep that. I just want to say for people who are doing this with your iPhones, I know the iPhones, take your pictures, delete them. They just go to that delete file. Right, and retrieve them later, or put them in the cloud. Do whatever.
Send it to somebody too. Send it to somebody.
Send them to somebody.
Always do that too.
Look at that middle one. Nice distraction attempt from the Epstein.
That's what I'm gonna say. Another distraction, right?
Yep.
We're gonna sweep this thing on the road. Nothing to see here, people.
And it very well could be that.
So, but see, I buy that more, right? Theory for me. This is my theory. Projectile. This is a projectile real event to see the reaction, but also, what if this has the distraction?
Yep.
From the real thing, right? How to be holographed by someone. That's what I'm saying. I would believe that more, honestly. I think we have the techtechnology.
J Cash Maga Queen says had to be holograms generaed by someone.
Maga Queen.
Yeah. Maga Queen, yeah.
That's the Maga Queen.
Yeah. I know where she's voting.
Woo!
Hey, that's where I'm voting too.
Yeah,
baby.
for sure. But I believe that more. A hologram. Because, dude,
yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen what they can do with drones? drones that work together, they create an actual. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy. I didn't even know
like
they could do
art,
that.
dude.
Exactly. Like they can, dude. In Japan, they had like the New Year's thing where it was like a huge dragon. All drone made, dude. But if you're
I saw a Santa Claus one that was really beautiful.
So you're not telling me that they could do something like that level where it could create something of that nature, right? Of something crawling through and make it so realistic. I mean, dude, if you were in that mode where like you just at first glance you look at something, you're freaking out. I'm freaking out. Like, yo, what the hell is that? You know? So yeah, man, it could possibly be. So I mean, I don't know, man.
So that's interesting because so if it's a hologram, that's with the assumption that it's coming from the same dark government agencies that are hiding all of the Epstein evidence that we just covered just earlier on this podcast. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, that's what happened on January 1st. And apparently nobody has like, I mean, from what I've looked into it myself, nobody really has like actual footage of, I mean, I've seen some low res videos of these so-called beings, but I mean, I just think the turnout for that, for the cops showing up and all that, for a fight, there's no way I'm buying that. There's got to be something going on, man.
Yeah, what was that skin ranch?
There's the alien right there. There's the alien.
That must be him. Yeah, going to Victoria's Secret, the alien.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Donnie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Project
There you go.
Bluebeam. That's what it sounds. Yeah,
Look
you're
up
right
Project
on, dude.
Bluebeam. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. So it's like people, man. We are waking up, and that's the beauty of podcasting. What we are doing, we are just adding to that collective voice.
Yeah.
We're talking about this stuff. I think we're tired of being silenced. We're tired of being lied to, and we're to the point where we're just talking about it.
Yeah. And also I definitely want to give I'm going to extend an invitation to anybody from Florida. Actually, we do have a connection from Florida. Tori Terry.
Oh,
Tori Terry, we're gonna have to have you back on to see if you have any anybody that that might have
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, if you have if you know anybody from Florida that might know of anything that happened when this took place, or
dude,
just
he was probably responding to that call.
Oh, dude, right? No, definitely. But I definitely want to see if anybody would reach out to us to see if they want to come on the pod, and if you were around that time when this happened, definitely hit us up on DM us Beyond Expedition Podcast on Instagram, and let us know if you were there when this happens, and we can just talk and ask some questions, and just kind of add to this and see what really happened. I mean, if it was just because kids were setting off fireworks or whatever, like they claim, cool. But if it was something much more than that, we definitely want to hear from your perspective to see what happened and add more to this, because people would want to know.
Absolutely.
Right?
No. It's just very odd that there's so much talk about aliens and it coming from a number of people.
Right. And I think everyone has a different theory, like a different twist on what they think is going on. And, put a comment down below.
Definitely,
let's talk about it.
Some of the comments,
Absolutely.
Let us know. But but see, the one that stuck out to me is like, coincidence that this happened as soon as they're going to drop the list. Like this is happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of too close to the dates to me, man. But hey,
the deep state, man. Like the people are waking up to the deep state's patterns.
Yep.
We you want predictive programming? We the people have what's called pattern recognition.
Right. Yeah, for real. Like we're picking up on these how these things just come about and they just happen. Where I mean, the movie's already out there. We talked about predictive programming. That to me seems like it is a real thing. They get us ready for it, and we're like, oh wait, we just saw this in the movie not too long ago. And AI, all this stuff.
From the beginning of time, we are wired to know when we're getting lied to.
Yeah,
we have instincts. Our instincts, even though we may not be able to put the facts together and prove conclusively that it was this and it was this. Our instincts tell us when something's going on.
For sure. Especially just because we have to kind of put the conversation out there. Like for them to just think that if they are really setting this if they're staging this to go a certain way for us to think a certain way, we got to, at that point, we have to kind of wake up and smell the coffee and be like, nah, this just seems too coincidental to us for it to happen that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it's nuts, man. So yeah, that's what happened in Miami, January 1st. So
wow,
it's crazy, man. So we'll see what happens as time goes, maybe from here till we release another episode. we'll know more, and people maybe put out more footage out there. So hey, man. So for now, we're gonna have to keep you posted and see what really went down that day. So yeah, man. But do you guys want to talk sports before we wrap this one up? I know we went knee deep in this. We want to talk a little bit of quick sports. I mean,
let's talk about UW being in the national championship.
So yeah,
real quick.
so yes,
We'll
okay.
just leave it at that. And
So
well, I want Russell Wilson too.
okay,
definitely. That's
so,
juicy.
So we go to that. Okay, so where do we want to go? Let's pick one.
Let's start with
UW.
Russell.
UW.
Okay, well, I just figured because we're a Washington. We're from
course.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe we end it with the UW.
Okay, we'll end it with the
'Cause
UW.
We'll end it on a positive note.
Definitely. Okay.
So we'll segue to my man.
Yeah.
Russell
the
Muscle
Muscle
Wilson.
That's right. So yeah, let's hear about that, man. So so what's going on with Homeboy? Doesn't seem like it's going too hot for him. I'll just say that.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Russell Wilson signed a massive contract this offseason.
Yeah.
He hasn't even actually gotten into the year where he's getting paid for this contract yet. He's still on his Seahawk contract.
Oh, okay.
So next year is actually when it kicks in, right?
Oh.
So he's been getting a lot of flack since he left because the Broncos did pretty bad last year. Secured us the 2nd overall pick, I believe.
Yeah.
No, fifth overall pick. Got us Witherspoon, thank you. And also almost half of our team, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
But so now he's fast forward a year later, now he's in this position where Sean Payton and him, his coach, they're not seeing eye to eye. But it's basically coming from a contractual side. He's not playing terrible, but he has a guarantee in his contract that's $37 million if he gets hurt this weekend or next weekend. He's guaranteed $37 more million. And writings on the wall essentially is that what they're going to do is that they're Derek Carring him. That's what the Raiders did to Derek Carr last year. They are locking him out of the building, from what I've heard.
Wow.
And I don't know that for a fact that they're locking him out, but he's not participating in anything anymore, right? He's done. And what that means is essentially he's probably going to be released, and that's going to be nearly $80 million cap hit.
Wow.
Which to put things in perspective, that is, I believe, 35% of one team's salary cap.
That is insane. I know that.
So now, a lot of people kind of gave Sean Payton a hard time for it because he hasn't really played that bad this year. Like, he's played significantly better. If you put Mahomes' numbers and his numbers next to each other, which Mahomes having a terrible year, but they're similar.
Similar.
I mean, they're similar. So, but he's just not playing up to his contract. Like, he has to.
He's not worth that money.
No, he's not even. I mean, he's worth like Geno Smith money at this point, right? Like $30 million. He's not worth $60 million. He's worth like 30, 35. Yeah, sorry, Wilson, you're only worth $35 million.
There you go.
Such a terrible number. But anyway, yeah. So now he is benched, and they are going with Jared Stidham for the rest of the season.
Wow.
So I've been seeing some things going back and forth between Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Do you know any of that? Can you shed light on any of that?
Well, so it started on the sideline a couple weeks beforehand, right? They were yelling at each other, and then that kind of got a bunch of publicity. And then, basically, I mean, there's not a whole lot of it. It's all through the media, right?
Okay.
Like, they've interviewed Russell individually, and he kind of like stated his, and Russell kind of came out looking like he didn't really do much wrong. Like, this is kind of a money thing, honestly, more than anything. It is his performance mixed with the money.
The money, yeah.
But because let's make no mistake about it, if he was playing at prime Aaron Rodgers or even prime Russell Wilson level, like, they wouldn't care about the 37 million.
Exactly.
They would not care about the 37 million, and that obviously is why, to me, the writing's on the wall. He's on his way out.
Yeah.
So what is the team thinking right now? The Broncos locker room, how are they feeling about?
I've heard anonymous reports that they're not loving Peyton for doing
They're
that.
taking Peyton,
For
or
not
they're taking
make,
Russell's side.
well, because he hasn't been playing bad, and he just won him a couple games. Like, they hadn't won in Kansas City in like 8 years or something, and they beat Kansas City in Kansas City this year. They had a chance to make the playoffs up until like a week or so ago. And actually, I think even up until last weekend, if they would have won out, they could have made the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
They benched their quarterback.
Wow.
Dang. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Peyton shot him in the
Yeah,
foot.
pretty much.
Yeah, because regardless, Russell's getting, like 75% of this contract guaranteed.
Yeah, so he's gonna get paid regardless. But now it seems like they're trying to dupe him out of money, though. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what they're doing.
Yeah,
right?
they were trying to strangle. They were trying
yeah.
to stranglehold him. They were trying to blackmail him into taking less money.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
He has a good agent. Agent told him, "Hey, stand strong."
Said, "You worry about playing football. Don't Sean, don't worry about talking your contract with Sean Payton.
Yeah, that's gonna
So
whack,
if he gets
yeah.
released, what happens then? He becomes free agent or what?
Yeah, so he becomes a free agent and he's owed a ton of money, 75% of his contract. So theoretically, I know even he could easily get a job somewhere next year.
Absolutely.
It's not like he's so bad to the
Yeah,
point where he's
someone
like
pick him
Johnny
up.
Manziel and he can't play anymore.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Where he like hung out with Drake for 4 months and then he can't even fucking run 30 yards anymore, you know?
My man.
He hit his plateau and then he just say screw it after that.
Man, that was the biggest letdown ever.
Oh my God. Did you guys watch the special on Netflix?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
he
Oh, did you?
literally,
Okay.
he just like no shame admitted that, you know, that basically he fucked it all up and he
Yep.
put it down the shitter, but not much has really changed. Like
Right.
he's just still doing the same thing.
God, man.
Yeah, he's just living on his appearances and hanging out with his family.
what you once were, you're still living in the past. That's all you're good known for.
I would love. I mean, I respect his hustle. He's a man that knows what he wants, and he's just like,
It
hey,
is what it is.
and
I
knows
mean,
what
as
he
long as
doesn't
he's being
want.
honest, right? As long as he's being honest about it, it's not like kind of sugarcoating it. It is what it is.
There's
Yeah,
a
he's
real
just-
debate that if he never met Drake and Drake never said his name in a song, that he actually might still be in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
To me, like that, I actually think that ruined his life.
No, I'm not going to put that on Drake. No,
I am. You ruined Johnny Football, Drake.
That's so funny.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Funny. Yeah, but but Manziel, he at what Texas
A&M.
A&M,
Yeah.
and he was
Tore
like
it up.
tore it. He was
Yeah, I remember
like
hearing
the
a lot about
number
him.
one.
Yeah.
Well, and
Set the records, everything.
I learned a lot about the details of that season and everything. I didn't know Texas A&M just joined the SEC. The SEC, the Southeastern Conference, is literally the strongest division in football. It's almost every year, not almost every year, but a lot of years for the national championship, they face each other. Like
okay.
whoever, you know, like Georgia versus Alabama, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were in their first year at the program, and Johnny Manziel was virtually pretty unknown, and he basically led him to like a top 10 ranking.
Yeah. I remember hearing a lot about him during
It was
the
a
time he
good.
was there.
It was a good Netflix special.
Yeah.
though.
I'll check it out.
liked it.
I'll
He didn't
check it
like
out.
practicing.
Yeah.
He literally, even when he was good, he never practiced.
Like, I'm that good.
And
I'm
then
gonna
when they were
practice, yeah.
talking about making the money,
Yeah.
because college wouldn't pay you
For the
right?
autographs?
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
his buddy would fly him out and take him to all these parties, and he'd just
Yeah.
be making money just off his autographs.
What?
And then the school
Yeah.
caught up on it.
There was a
Oh.
huge scandal, and the NCAA like suspended him for half the year or something. like
no,
that.
no, like a game or something.
Oh, it was
like,
half a game.
Yeah, half a
it
game.
was half a game, and he continued doing it.
And he was supposed to be like done.
He got busted later
but he was
on,
so
though.
good.
Yeah.
Later on.
Later
Get it
on,
back
he
on the
ended
field.
up. I think like some of his records got taken away, almost like Reggie Bush style, like where they came back and they're like, "Oh yeah, you made a bunch of money." So then they
What a
just-
bunch of
yeah,
haters. Yeah, you
They hate on
can't-
greatness. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
yeah.
That's crazy. But in terms of college football, UW, baby, we're going to the
Yeah.
Michigan, right? Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So from this game, okay. So first of all, how'd you see the win for UW to get to this point? How'd you see it? Because I mean,
You mean the last game or
just the last game. Yeah, the last game.
the last game? I mean, we almost gave it away by
Okay.
like a technicality. I don't know if did you watch the whole
No,
game?
I didn't.
I watched the
So-
little bits and pieces, like the highlights. You know.
So we ended up winning, but we had the game like in hand. We were actually at one point dominating, like to where it was looking like UW offensive coordinator was running all these cute little plays where he's flipping the ball around and shit and throwing it backward to the
little
receiver and then trying to throw, like just doing all these crazy things. They were trying to blow it wide open, right? Well, they had a 10-point lead and they ended up almost blowing it. Like they had 13-point lead at one point. But what happened, it was kind of a freak thing. So at the end of the game, it becomes kind of a clock management thing, right? Like your timeouts,
Yep.
when you use your timeouts, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So in college football, there's really unique rules for when the clock runs and when it stops and all that kind of stuff, right? So like on a first down, inside of 2 minutes in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, the clock stops on a first down until you get up on the ball.
Okay.
So then they'll basically let you set up, then they go beep. Whereas in the NFL, it just runs,
Keeps running. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
runs, right?
Okay.
So what happened was at the end, Dylan Johnson, God, don't even quote. I don't even know if his name's Dylan. I just know his last name's Johnson. But anyways, let's start running back. He ended up getting hurt. A lot of people were criticizing the coach because why didn't you just take a knee and then punt the ball, get rid of it, right? Well, instead, what they did is they ended up giving the ball back to the other team because the running back couldn't get off the field they had to stop the clock.
Oh.
So instead so they ran the ball to make the clock run. But since he couldn't get off the field, as soon as he couldn't get off, beep, dead. So 47 seconds were on the clock instead of like 12.
Yeah.
How many points?
Like they would have had so at this point they're winning. We're winning by 6, I believe. So they have to score a touchdown in order to win.
They're gonna win. Oh boy!
And literally they worked it all the way with those 47 seconds, all the way down to the 10-yard line in front of you. All because of that injury from the running back, right?
Dang.
And he's a stud too, and he just could not walk apparently. Like he's like, I knew what happened. I was trying to get up. He's like, I just couldn't get up.
Damn.
So it ended up giving them all the time back. And also a really interesting side thing. A lot of people don't realize this, but the coach of Texas, the team we just beat, he was the former shamed coach of UW.
Oh wow, really?
Steve Sarkisian.
Wow.
Steve Sarkisian. He got fired because he had an alcohol problem. Literally went down to he went down to a small school and like took like a coordinator job, and then Alabama brought him over to be an offensive coordinator, and then he finally, like 4 years later, he got a chance again with Texas.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Got all the way down to the end, right?
Rude awakening,
Yeah.
sweet surprise. You know what I'm saying? That's
it's just crazy.
So now we're playing against Michigan, right? That happens tomorrow.
It happens on Monday.
Monday. Okay, Monday.
Yeah.
So how do you see that playing out prediction wise? And then after this game, where do we go if we win?
It's over. This is the national championship.
Oh, this is the big time.
This is the big one. This is the Super Bowl.
Woo!
Yeah. So basically, if we win, we're the national champions, and it's the first.
Let's go, baby.
Oh
It
my
would be
God!
the first championship for national championship for UW since 1991.
Huskies.
And you know what's crazy? I kind of read up on it earlier. Miami. It was back when the BCS standings, so it was all determined by computer formulas. Your strength of victory, how many points you won by against who, all these things, right? Well, we were put in the national championship against one team, but we won. We won, right? Well, Miami was in another bowl game, but for whatever reason, the BCS standings pushed them to number 1.
Oh,
We were number 2 at the end, so they claim they share a championship with us. But it's fake. Yeah. It's like a couple years back. I forget who it was. Like South Florida, they did the same thing. They were like 14-0.
Yeah.
They had the Griffin brothers. Remember the guy with the
Yeah.
and that played in the Seahawks.
guys with the
That guy. The twins.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway,
We know what you're talking about. You're not. Yeah.
they tried to claim that they won the national championship, and they had like one of the weaker schedules because they played just in a really weak conference.
Right.
They're like, we're co-national champions with Alabama. It's like, okay.
So, so I'm assuming that Michigan is favored to win, according to the stats.
It's based off of a hype thing to me.
Okay.
Because like it's the same thing with Texas. Think about it, guys. Like Michigan is like they're like the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
And Texas is like the Red Sox. Yeah. Like people love betting on the Cowboys. They love betting on the Lakers. That's kind of what we're dealing
Just
with.
a name, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
All the money is going on Michigan. Even my friend Lou over at, hey, you're gonna watch this back. You're gonna regret the bet. He thinks we're gonna lose. Like he thinks Michigan. Oh man, that quarterback is nasty. Blah blah blah. And actually, Lou's been on the podcast. We've talked about him a couple times before.
Money bags, right?
No, Louis Bags.
Louis Bags.
Louis Bags.
Louis Bags with the money bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a new project coming soon too. So
Sweet.
We'll have to shout that
Sweet.
out. But
Nice.
yeah. Anyway,
So okay.
So he's putting a bet on Michigan. And I honestly think that this game is going to be an easy game for us. Like, yeah. And I'm not even like just based off of how Penix just dissected Texas. Like, dude, I honestly think we're going to have I think we're going to win by a couple, like 10 points.
Wow.
13 points. Yeah.
Y'all heard it.
Okay. So the bet. What are you going to place any bets on this one?
If I do, I'm going to do something like pretty simple, just because I don't want to ruin the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if anything, I'll put like probably, a little money line bet on UW because they're underdogs.
Yep.
So you get good odds. It's like 1.5 to 1.
I'd do a money line bet.
You put $100 on them and win back 250
Oh, not bad.
with your bet, obviously. So it's 150. But yeah. So I mean, I honestly I don't really know what to expect. I don't think Penix is going to throw for like 500 yards like he did last week, but I think he's going to throw for 300 yards. Probably throw a couple touchdowns. Running back probably run for 70-80 and a touchdown, and I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win. I think we're going to win like 31-21.
Okay, people.
31-21.
31-21. Okay, so you heard it here now. That's the prediction from B-Rat here.
Yeah.
So Huskies all the way. You know, we're going to take the ship. You know what I'm saying?
Our sports analyst extraordinaire.
Right?
Yeah. We'll see how extraordinary I am. The next,
hey, man.
the next episode.
Better than me and Eddie combined.
Dude, it's like me watching a sports anchor right now, like in live form when you're telling all that, and I'm just like vastly interested. Just like it just captured me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's good. So there you go, man. So for all people watching out there, hopefully you're enjoying as well. But yeah, so we're gonna close this one out.
Yeah.
You know, definitely again, Happy New Year's. We're gonna definitely step on the accelerator pedal to bring you more awesome content, of course, here in La Casa, here in the studio, and we're just gonna stay consistent with it because I mean, I think we found the sweet spot to where you know, just continue on giving you good content, good stuff to listen to and watch as well. So, yeah, I mean, anything you guys want to say?
Once again, guys, thanks for listening. Just make sure that if you do support the podcast, to go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment because that helps everything. It helps us move forward. And if you want to see these pretty faces up on billboards, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Keep the hair going, everything. Same. I'm building on these guys. Everything they're saying, it's the same. I mean, you guys pretty much said it. So
okay.
I mean, we just love and appreciate everything you guys are doing. You guys like anything? You guys have any ideas for content you want to see, like topics you want to see us cover? Let us know.
Also, we're gonna put up. We're actually have our own address, so we can. You want to say something about that?
Well, just we'll set it up. So prepare in the future. We wanna engage more with the audience, and we want to do some giveaways, some merch, and whatever, that type of thing. So Beyond Expectation podcast is preparing to just to get a little bit more active with you guys here in the near future.
Definitely. So down under wraps till further notice, but we got something coming. But of course, I want to remind everybody, go link with us on Instagram, Beyond Expectation Podcast. We'll have a direct link in our bio, and we also have cool clips on our Instagram page, so check that out. But we have a direct link in our bio that'll take you where we're available everywhere, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and FM Radio, YouTube. Go subscribe to that as well, and just where we're at, all the major streaming platforms. But till then, we'll catch you next one. Stay safe out there. We love you. Till then, peace.